Without ever leaving their homes, girls in our area are being recruited for sex trafficking.
Some victims are going to school during the day and then being exploited at night, and no one has any idea. WECT's Bailey Hicks takes a look at sex trafficking and what parents need to know.
Sex trafficking in Wilmington is much bigger than people would ever imagine.
Some of the victims that we've had in cases that are minor victims are being exploited at night and going to school during the day, and no one is the wiser. No one knows what's happening to these kids.
How it often starts may surprise you.
He starts out and he says, "Hello, how are you?" and follows up, "Mind if I get to know you?"
Pimps are now using popular sites and apps like Facebook, Instagram, and Kik to recruit girls without ever meeting them in person first.
We had one pimp in the last couple of years who, when we got his Facebook records, over the course of an 8-month period, he had reached out to 118 different women on Facebook trying to recruit them. He's sending them all the same message.
Messages similar to some you may have seen.
I got a mass blast on my phone one day that I recognized immediately that was just a mass text. Like, "I've seen your pictures, you're really cute, do you think we could meet up or talk sometime?" And of course, I'm not going to respond to that, but who would, right? A 14 or 15-year-old girl who really is craving attention.
This is a real conversation where one pimp started recruiting a girl on social media. As in most cases, it doesn't seem out of the ordinary.
They're fishing. They're asking their victims, "What do you do? Where do you go to school? Do you like school? Do you like your parents?"
This undercover detective says while it seems innocent, here's what the pimp is really asking. Do you have a support system? Will someone go looking for you if you go missing?
It's almost like there's a textbook, you know, and it's really scary because they have learned what works, and that's what they do.
And the girls, that answer and say, "No, I hate school. I hate my family. I hate my parents. I hate my parent." Those are the people that they're preying on.
A lot of times it's that girl that something bad has already happened to her and she's susceptible or vulnerable and really wanting that attention.
They put it out there, all the things that they can provide for that person that they're not getting at home.
It is so common, he calls it boyfriending themselves in.
Pimps and traffickers will pretend to be someone who's romantically interested in a girl, telling them that you're beautiful and I love you and I'd like to spend time with you.
Gaining the trust of that girl, and for however long it takes before she's completely wrapped up in him, and then it'll start to turn, kind of like a domestic violence relationship. He will insert some violence, insert some physical, mental abuse, things like that, and make it where they can't leave.
Creating almost a brainwashing effect.
These girls are doing this for them because they're trying to make this guy happy. They've bought into the idea that this guy is their provider, it's their boyfriend.
Just like the recruiting often starts online, the sex trafficking, the prostitution, for the most part starts at a keyboard too.
I can show you, 50, 60 advertisements for escort services, which we know what that is. Prostitution here in Wilmington, I can show you 50, 60 of those that have been posted since 8 o'clock this morning.
The majority of it has moved indoors thanks to websites like Backpage.com or eroticmugshot.com, myprovider.com. There's all kinds of websites that promote prostitution.
We've driven up and down a certain road in Wilmington that a lot of people think is seedy, and I have not seen one suspicious person walking the street that I would say that might be a prostitute or a victim of sex trafficking. But there were over 20 ads that have been posted since the day started.
Escort sites like this are technically legal. There's even a disclaimer on this one about sex trafficking.
She very, very well might be doing this all on her own. Not to say that every single advertisement on here is human trafficking, that somebody is forcing these girls to do this, but a lot of them are.
Some even list prices.
Typically 60 is like a quick visit that they would call for 15 minutes. And 100 for a half hour, 140 for an hour. It's like ordering a pizza. You pick out which one you want and call them, tell them where you're at or where you're gonna go to, and they meet up, and nobody ever knows what's going on.
Making it harder to identify.
Let's say it's a true trafficking case where on the way to go meet a John or a client that they get stopped by law enforcement. To a normal person that pulls them over, it looks like it's a boyfriend-girlfriend kind of thing, and there's nothing really to investigate.
New Hanover County deputies and Wilmington police officers are trained on what red flags to look out for.
In these kind of cases, you kind of got to jump on them because these people move around a lot. It's almost like a circuit that, they go from city to city to city.
As detectives work to investigate,
These girls need a safe place to be.
caseworkers like Carrie Ramsey at A Safe Place offer counseling, and help the victims find a home and a job.
We'll work on our end to support the women that are involved in each case and to help them to heal.
The demand is here in Wilmington.
I hear all the time about people who come with their car seats in the back seat to meet our girls, and then they go home at the end of the day. Businessmen who come into town for conferences.
We're a coastal state. We have a lot of people who come into Wilmington for different events. You're going to see an increase in supply because there's an increase in demand.
She says the best way to start stopping it is to try to prevent it altogether.
It means parents being vigilant and checking out, what are my kids doing online? You know, do I have all their social media passwords? Do I see who they're having conversations with? Because it doesn't take much and it doesn't take long.
And A Safe Place does have a 24-hour hotline that anyone can call for help. We have all that information over on our website, WECT.com. Reporting live in the newsroom, Bailey Hicks, WECT News.